everybody, how you doing? I'm going to be connecting with Archangel Metatron today. Let's see how he can enlighten our lives. I'm going to relax here and get tuned in. See what the most meaningful thing he can share with all of us is today. All right. All right, there is a stillness. I see winter leaves, and I say winter leaves because there is a barrenness to the trees, but the fall leaves, you'll see them dotting around a cold and wintry environment, snowy environment, and some of these leaves are still somehow collecting in the wind, and they're blowing. It's not snowing on this day. But there's snow on the ground, and some leaves remain on the trees, and they're catching in the wind, and they're blowing. I see a human being, a younger person, a female, maybe 15 or 16. And she's outside walking and looking around. The sun is hidden behind clouds. It's midday. She's not paying attention to the cold. See that she's the only one outside walking. There's not even many people out driving, but she's outside. Is silent in her mind, is silent in her presence. Trying to reach her to understand what her meaning is, what is her purpose, what is Archangel Metatron wanting to tell us about this? What is the purpose of this message? He says you can't change the way things are. You can't change it. You can't make the winter go away. You can't put the leaves back on the trees. You can't move the clouds out of the sky. You can't force life to be the way that makes you happiest. Life will be exactly as it is. And you'll find yourself living life, or you'll find yourself not there at all. He wants to know if I think that this girl represents a human being who is living life. Where are all the people? What are they doing? Can you live life outside? Can you live life inside? Can you only live life inside? Do you need to go outside in order to live? One thing I tell Archangel Metatron is I watch this girl and I keep trying to catch up with her. Like I'm trying to walk by her side. I'm trying to walk even in front of her, just walk backwards as she walks forward and try to look into her eyes. And I can't reach her. I feel like I'm maybe one of these leaves blowing in the wind. Like I feel like even if I wanted to, I couldn't catch up with her. It's like I'm going in a different direction than she is. And even if I wanted to go in the same direction, that I wouldn't be able to. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. It again comes back to the same message. You can't put the leaves on the trees. Once they've fallen off, you have to wait for the right time. You can't force it to always be summer if there's an intention for it to be fall and winter and spring. There's a natural rhythm about the divine time, and the reason why the balance is the way that it is. He wants to know the answer to this question. If going outside is living life, if being inside is living life, can you only live life inside? Do you have to go outside to live it? He wants to know the answer to this question. I say, I can't explain it, Metatron, but I feel like if I could reach her, that I would like her to answer this question. I know it sounds strange, but I want her to answer the question. I actually stop time. I stop forward motion. I stop everything. And then she collapses. And I see that I'm not allowed to do that. So I sit down and I say that I think people can live just fine indoors. I do feel like people need to go outside though too. What's the point of having an outdoors if you don't go out into it? What's the point of having an indoors if you don't go inside? You know, at one time, being inside was just a shelter, really. It was a place for a bed that wasn't, you're not going to get rained on. You're not, it's like, here's your chimney, your fireplace. Here you can cook inside. You have the luxury of cooking inside. Oh wow, we have bathrooms now. Here you have the luxury of going to a bathroom inside your house. Wow, here we have the luxury of having a bed with a roof over your head, right? So you keeps the elements out, it keeps things warmer, it keeps things cleaner. You have the luxury of having these things. But it wasn't a place where you lived. You didn't live inside. You just went inside for convenience. You went inside because you had the luxury to go inside. The being outside was really where you lived. And then when you went to bed at night or you wanted to eat something, you went inside. And sometimes you'd eat outside. But the world is different. It's more like we live inside. And going outside is more of an inconvenience. It's more out of our way. You have to go somewhere if you want to go to a walk without cars driving by and a bunch of noise. You actually have to drive to a place to go walk peacefully. You might have to go drive to a place to go buy your clothes. You don't make them at home. You don't shear your own sheep. And it's a different society. So, I mean, who am I to say here, Metatron, what it means to be alive? Who am I to say that you can't live indoors? It's part of a life experience. Who am I to say you have to be outside in order to truly live? Metatron asked me what my heart's saying. I say that when you start living indoors more than outdoors, you forget how much you enjoy being outside. And when you live your time outside, you don't want to be inside all the time. I remember when I was a kid, I'd wake up, I'd watch my Saturday morning cartoons, but even sometimes those would go too long. I wanted to go outside and play with friends. I wanted to be outside all the time. It'd even be a nuisance if I had to come back to eat something. And Metatron is talking about it's important that we don't forget what comes naturally. What comes naturally, because when we become unnatural, we'll decide that what is unnatural is natural. We'll even argue with it. We'll even say that it is the only way to be. What is unnatural is the only way to be natural. It's always been this way. It should have been this way thousands of years before it was this way. But it's actually not listening to your heart. It says this is more than just indoors, outdoors. This is about much, much more than that. It's about what is natural and what is unnatural. It says it's unnatural, Abbey, to think that you can stop time, that you have a right to go talk to that girl when your calling is not to go talk to that girl. That you can override the divine time for you, the leaf, to blow in the wind. You must ask yourself what is natural. And you must align with what is natural. And don't get flexible and bend the stick every time you want to do another unnatural thing. And he's talking about everything in our world. I'm going to tell you guys an idea that came to me about technology. And I've been imagining the world with a human being full of holes. And the only way to fill in those holes is to have a robot fill in the gaps for us. Because we've decided that human beings are incomplete, human beings aren't as smart as computers, etc. We never challenged ourselves to discover our biological technology. We never challenged ourselves to figure out what this human body can really do. We just cut a lot of corners and took a lot of easy way outs, and now the next solution is not really to get to know ourselves, it's just to add another thing to our reality that's going to solve all our problems, but we never solved the holes in the first place. We never even found out what we were as a human race. We're just going to live with the holes and then say the technology can complete us, and we'll never be complete. We are going to remain incomplete. Because we are lying to ourselves if we think that technology completes us. You can say it's an evolutionary step, it's ingenious, but we never found out what we could actually do with our own damn minds, with our own sensory skills, with our own psychic ability, the ability to move things with our mind, ability to really interpret people heart to heart. Because we can go extraordinary lengths to be an extraordinary society, not by filling in holes with technology, but by finding a completed human being and see what that human being can create in this world. Because I'd really like to know what that society looks like. I feel like Metatron is talking to us about unnatural when it comes to everything. Are you following your heart? Are you listening to your heart? Or are you just sliding into the next convenience? Are you challenging yourself to remember what comes natural to you as a body, as a being of this earth? So that's his message. I had no idea it was going in this direction. You have to accept when the leaves have fallen off the trees. You have to accept that the seasons change. And perhaps there's a conflict here between what if the leaves falling off the trees is a reflection of an evolutionary step. Perhaps that step is still guiding us to spring, even if it is through a loophole of some kind. Maybe our insecurities need the technology first before we can embrace our bodies fully. Maybe we need the unnatural before we can truly graduate to a level of appreciation of the natural. I'll let you guys think about that. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this message with Archangel Metatron. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm doing sessions on Patreon. I'm doing live streaming on Patreon. If you're interested, go to patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. I'm also on Zodiac energy readings, posting for the month of September, YouTube channel. So check out Zodiac energy readings. Also, you can check out Abbey Psychic Services, my other YouTube channel where I'm posting client sessions. All right, have an awesome day, everybody.